God bless students. Students, in today's video, we shall learn from the book of Pakistan Studies for Class 9, Unit 1, Ideological Basis of Pakistan, and topic for today's lesson is Ideology and the Sources of Ideology. Students, first of all, we shall look at the definition of ideology. Ideology means such a plan or program based upon philosophy and application to solve political, social and cultural issues and problems. Dear students, ideology is a system of ideas and ideals, especially one which forms the basis of economic or political theory and policy of the area. Dear students, here we have some more examples as the definitions of the ideology. First, we shall talk about the definition given by the World Encyclopedia. It says, ideology is a set of political and cultural principles on which a nation or civilization is based. Dear students, we know all the cultures of the world have set for themselves the principles and the rules of business, and they follow them, and they keep the identity and the ideology of that territory or the nation. If we look at the definition given by George Bros, he says any plan or program of common life based upon thinking and philosophy is called ideology. So according to George Bros, he says the thinking and the philosophy of the people that they follow to lead their lives is called philosophy. Very simple, you can say this: the way the people live their lives or the philosophy of their life is called the ideology of the people. And when we continue to know about the ideology, the first thing we know that the word ideology comes from the Urdu word Nazriya, and it is known as ideology in English. Dear students, the basis of Pakistan ideology lies in the religion of Islam. So this statement depicts quite clearly that the ideology of Pakistan is the ideology of Islam. So very simple to know, very simple to understand, and very simple to remember that the ideology of Islam is the ideology of Pakistan. And we also know that Islam is a religion that provides guidance to the Muslims in every area or sphere of their lives. And this truth, this open treasury truth, is not hidden from anybody, that the Islamic system is based on the Holy Quran, the Sunnah of the Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and the Ahadith of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Dear students, we know there are two states in the world that are created on the basis of their ideology, and Pakistan is one of them. So you must remember that Pakistan is an ideological state, and the ideology of Pakistan was or is the ideology of Islam. Dear students, we shall continue to know about the ideology, and now we shall move on to the sources of ideology. Here we have before us on the slide, there are 5 sources given to us in the textbook of Pakistan Studies. They are common religion, common race, common language and residency, common political purposes, and common customs. From the sources of ideology, we shall look upon the idea of common religion. We know there are so many religions of the world. Here we have some of the examples for you, where, like we have the Jews, the Christians, the Muslims, the Hindus, and the Sikhs. And we know that the religion has a very deep and profound impact on the whole social life of a person. It's not only a set of adoration. So means a religion is not simply doing worship to Allah. It's more than that, because religion helps us to maintain our social social relationship, in the light of a social. Dear students, when we look at the common race, we know there are so many nations and races living upon the face of this earth. We can see here we have some of the examples of the Europeans, the Japanese, the Indians, and the example from the world of Muslims. We know that the common ideas come or originate from the common race, and people who belong to the same race develop among themselves the sentiments of sympathy and brotherhood, and people who are close to each other, and one thing that makes them united and bring them closer to each other, that is their commonality, the commonality in their race, and that makes them strong and more united. Dear students, here we shall look at the common language and residency. We know in the country like Pakistan, England, United Arab Emirates, and United States of America, a big rainbow of nations live in those countries, especially the country like England, United Arab Emirates, and USA. And here in Pakistan, we also have different religions, the people of Pakistan practicing. And through the common language, their residency provides them a chance to express their feelings, sentiments, and thoughts using a language. When people from around the world go to England or USA, and they need to learn their language to express their feelings, sentiments, and thoughts when they reach over there. And when the people live in any territory, they try to harmonize their ideas and the ways of living, and try to bring the similarity in the ways of their livings. And it all depends if they are living in a common territory, and there in common territory they try to develop all these things. Dear students, when we look at the heading of the common political purposes, we know there are so many countries that were liberated. Here I have taken two maps of the different parts of the world. One is of the United India and one is of the South Africa. And here we have some of the countries of South Africa like Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, South Africa, and they all were liberated from the British Empire. And when we look at the map of the United India, we can see there are two areas shown in green. One is West Pakistan, which is now called Pakistan, and East Pakistan, which is now called Bangladesh. And we have the other bigger region that is called the existing India now. So they all were, both the maps show that they all were living a life of slavery when the British Empire was ruling over them, and the people of these areas united themselves to achieve their political freedom. And why they did that? They want to keep their national life alive. They want to survive their through their national life. And we know that the most of the nations struggle together, and when they struggle together they become a strong nation. This is why the strong nation of the Muslims of India from the United India got their separate homeland named Pakistan, in which we live freely today. And this all happened because the political purpose of this area belonging to the religion of Islam had common purpose. Dear students, we also know there are the the customs and traditions that the people of some area or territory follow. And remember, the customs and the traditions and the rights, social rights that they follow, they don't have any business with religion. If you look at one example of mehendi or henna, which we celebrate when we do the wedding, whether we are Punjabi, Sindhi, Balochi, Pathan, or we are Bangladeshi, Pakistani, or Indian, we all go through this type of festivity, and we celebrate and we rejoice and we make merry. And this shows that this type of activity brings the ideological harmony in the culture, in the civilization. And this type of common custom or common tradition plays a very vital role in the formation and the development of the ideas of the people of that particular area or territory. Dear students, we shall review our lesson. We know that the Urdu word Nazriya is known as ideology in English, and World Encyclopedia says ideology is a set of political and cultural principles on which a nation or civilization is based. George Bros says any plan or program of common life based upon thinking and philosophy is called ideology. We also have just gone through the sources of ideology: common religion, common race, common language and residency, common political purposes, and number 5, common customs. Dear students, here I have selected some questions for you. You will give the answers of these questions and will send me the responses in written form. And your questions are: what is meant by ideology? What is meant by the ideology of Pakistan? Elaborate any of the 2 sources of ideology. Define ideology in the words of George Bros. Thank you and God bless you. I shall be waiting for your responses.